And joining me now is former chief economist and economic policy advisor to Vice President Biden and former chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors, and really the guy I trust to ask these questions most of all, Jared Bernstein. Thank you so much. So, Jared, we have Trump's 145% tariff on goods from China, and it was going to take a toll on tech companies. So why do you think this exemption is happening now?
Well, I think it's because the Trump administration is slowly waking up to the reality of some of their actions and their impacts. We saw that in the stock market, of course, but their pain threshold for taking trillions of dollars of wealth losses in the stock market was pretty high. But once it hit the bond market later in the week, that actually risks financial problems throughout the globe. We have a global financial system where U.S. debt is really at the heart of that. And when that gets threatened, you worry about a really serious breaking of the system. And so that led them to take down the reciprocal tariffs. Now they started getting a whiff of reality from the tech companies, Apple in particular, and they've backed down here as well. I actually think it's a good sign. This breaking news is good breaking news. We need more of the same. It is kind of getting back to the way we were before, but that's kind of a sideshow at this point.
Can we also add that tariffs made consumer confidence take quite the nosedive? I mean, take a look at these two headlines, Jared. From anxious to petrified, consumer sentiment plunges further. And then there's this one. As tariffs hit, Americans are racing to buy car seats, iPhones, and Christmas gifts. I mean, Jared, it's been 10 days, right, since Trump's Liberation Day. Even with the new exemptions, how might things look 10 days from now?
It's a really important point because, you know, we're talking about smartphones, computers, semiconductors, all exempted in this new executive order, but they still face a 20% tariff. That base is still in there. It's 10% for all other countries, but it's 20 for China. So consumers have really understood that tariffs mean higher prices for them. We couldn't see that more clearly in the kind of sentiment surveys you were just showing. And consumers have had years of being stressed out by higher prices. There were a lot of voters out there who voted for Trump to lower prices. He comes in and he raises prices. Clearly, that's gotten under a lot of people's skin. Then it hit the markets. Then you saw some of his billionaire supporters getting nervous. So really, it's very hard to find anyone who isn't paid to think otherwise who's supportive of this program. And as I said in my first comment, this reality seems to be slipping back into the administration's actions.
You know, and on the heels of what you've just said in that answer, the White House characterized Wednesday's 90-day suspension as part of President Trump's grand negotiating strategy. But there are reports he backed down after the massive disruptions to, you mentioned, the bond market, with Trump saying people were getting queasy and yippy about bonds. Explain why bonds, why this may have been the reason that Trump changed course.
This country is carrying a debt level of close to 100% of GDP, and that's $30 trillion. Okay? So if you have the interest rate that you have to service on that debt go up by 1 percentage point, that's $300 billion of new debt service. Okay? That's real money. Secondly, we saw something really alarming. It's kind of under the hood. It's sort of the plumbing of the market in this bond route. We saw the safe haven status of U.S. sovereign debt, of U.S. debt, the kind of debt that, as I said earlier, is a foundation for global financial markets, come under threat. Investors were saying, I'm not sure the U.S. is the safe haven I thought it was. I'm going to take my credit over to Germany. And that kind of a threat is something that's really hard to recover from. So I think when the administration, and especially Scott Bessent and Lutnick, kind of caught a whiff of the safe haven status getting threatened, they really pushed Trump to action. And, you know, to his credit, again, he let a little more reality slip in.
So given now these exemptions, is there anything that gives you an indication of how the markets will open on Monday, how volatile it'll be?
Man, you know, asking where the markets are going to bounce one day to the next. If I knew that, I'd be talking to you from a much nicer home than I'm sitting in right now. But that said, One thing you can kind of bet on these days is when the tariffs come down a little bit, the markets go up a little bit. When the tariffs come down a lot, the markets go up a lot. So obviously they should like this. This is actually quite a significant change, and I want to emphasize that. When I said this breaking news is good news, something like a quarter of our imports from China are now exempted here. Again, the 20% tariff still stays, but exempted from that crazy 145% rate, and much higher rates, by the way, of our imports from Taiwan and Malaysia and Vietnam. So this is a real kind of getting back a little bit closer to where we were. The markets will like that. But as you yourself said, Alex, and it's really important not to forget, we're not out of the woods here.
Yeah, for sure. Which means you'll be back. Jared Bernstein, thank you so much.